Jovial Spirit Reactions. So we are reacting to a video of a young lady inside of a club, and she's venting her frustrations with men no longer approaching women. Um, so yeah, let's get active.
Men don't come up to you, not even bitches. Nobody comes up to you in the club. Nobody comes up to you in the club. They be scary as fuck, and I don't understand why.
I want to add something very specific to like dating culture in inside of the club or going out. Like, do you find it difficult to be approached by men, or what are your feelings around being approached by men?
I'm not a club goer, so for me, I don't experience that. I've been to the club in my 20s and a couple times in my 30s, and maybe once in my 40s, I don't know. A couple times, whatever. But I like to go just to dance and just to have fun. I'm not the type of person looking for love in a club. I don't want to make love in the club. I don't want anybody coming to get at me. I like to hang out with who I came with. That's me personally.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's a place to find your person. And I'm sure there's people that do. If that's your culture and that's what you prefer and you want somebody who resonates with that, then, by all means. But she's flipping off the camera, like
Her friend.
yeah, her friend.
Yeah.
Men, from what I've heard, they want to know that a woman's approachable, that she's going to be receptive. And so if they feel that the vibe isn't receptive, then, that's telling within itself. It's not telling about the men, it's telling about the women that are not receptive. I've been on the phone getting hit on. So people will try to talk to me while I'm on the phone. So it's just, are you receptive?
There's a lot of ways to go with this. So I'll just try to stick to the facts. It's difficult for men to, extend themselves to, talk to someone who, they don't know. The fear of rejection is real. To feel like you are, you're putting yourself out there to, putting yourself on the line, putting your ego on the line, to try to talk to a young lady and to be rejected in sometimes very harsh ways. Sometimes it's like, get away from me, or don't talk to me. Or then you have someone else who is part of the group and they're like nah, so I can understand why, people don't want to, approach women, you know what I mean? Like, then we have another segment of culture. Women tend to speak on how they feel very vulnerable, being approached outside of the club, being approached in other spaces, you know what I mean? Like, whether you're in the gym, or you're in the coffee shop, whether you're in the library, whether you are on the train. It's like, you're extending yourself to go after what it is that you want to go after. And then women are saying, we aren't feeling safe. These aren't the time or the place to be getting hit on. When is it the time or place to get hit on? You know what I mean?
That's true.
So,
I completely understand that. That makes absolute sense, because I as a woman have made those statements myself. I've been, especially, I've had situations like that, but then I've looked into traditional, and I talk about this all the time, where a lot of the older ways, it was kind of like, you had to be in a vulnerable position. A lot of the times the fathers wouldn't mate their daughters with somebody that outside of the community. Mm-hmm. They had to be somebody that they knew very well. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it would be like within friend groups, mm-hmm. within circles, you know, that the family had been friends with, or the mm-hmm. friend mm-hmm. Of a friend or something like that. And in today's society, in today's culture, that's kind of frowned upon. But these are people that have been vetted. These are people that have been in the circle. These are people that have been well known, mm-hmm. you know? And so mm-hmm. It's just kind of like grappling with that, like you said, with when and where is the right time, you know? Because even though I've been hit on in certain situations, mm-hmm. it was kind of like, hey, I'm busy. Mm-hmm. And so kudos to the people who,
I'm busy.
Yeah, like, yeah, hey, yeah. I'm on the phone, like, get away from me. Right. Like, you know, right. And I think that was just my way of saying no,
yeah.
you know, and just not wanting to go further in that interaction. Mm-hmm. But that goes with the, you know, interaction of hitting on somebody. Mm-hmm. You don't know what their circumstances mm-hmm. is. You don't know, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's at night, late at night, you know.
Yeah. And another thing, I have to say, there are a lot of weird dudes out there. I would imagine as a woman that because of how weird we are, how, you know, how kind of repressed we are, the social dynamic that used to exist when we were growing up looked a lot differently than it looked like today. As a woman, I would probably feel unsafe a lot of times as well. But when you scream it from the rooftops and the top of your lungs all the time, you know, this is going to be the result. You know, people aren't going to want to approach. People are going to that too. The courting. What happens when you actually get the woman? You know what I mean? You get the woman, you pay for, not that anything's wrong with that, because, you know, as someone who grew up in the 90s, you know, chivalry was the thing, courting was the thing, you know, making sure that your date was well taken care of, you know, that was a thing. But I think there is a level of entitlement that kind of exists nowadays with from my experience as being a man, that women tend to expect a lot and not give much. Like, you know, there's been many times that I've actually been on dates and pay for the date, you know, take them, you know, wherever, pick them up or whatever the case may be. And I feel like there was not much reciprocation there in terms of, like, you know, how do we make this an even exchange? You know, the conversation is trash. I choose a spot. You are not happy with the spot that we go to. It can't be a walk in the park. It can't be a coffee shop. It can't be a picnic. It has to be something that's, you know, much more grandiose, that says, I have money more so than I have the ability to be a good partner for you. And I think a lot of men tend to be opting out of wanting to date, wanting to approach women, wanting to be in relationships. You know, that's why prong is so prevalent nowadays, is because because we can't say porn. Prong.
You just said it.
Well, because I had to tell you, because you're yeah, that's why prong. Orn is very popular nowadays. Of is very popular nowadays. And yeah, you know, that's because, you know, with the lack of ability to be able to, like, you know, walk up and communicate with women and feel like you are, you know, being seen, to you know, to feel like you're confident while you're doing it. I think it's just easier to, like, for people to just not do it and, you know, get out of it what they would like to get out of it, which nowadays, you know, this is, you know, it's a sex culture. It's not really a dating culture. People aren't looking for love. People aren't looking for relationships. People aren't looking for intimacy. They're looking for sex. So think.
I hear you, and that you made some valid points. I feel definitely like the culture has shifted. The culture, I feel it has to do with society evolving into a different space. We have a lot more fatherless homes, so fathers are not vetting, so women are vetting for themselves. So I feel like that's one part of it. A lot of men are growing up fatherless themselves, so they're having to learn how to navigate that realm within themselves of courting. How do you court a woman when you haven't learned from your father how to court? You know, and then we have the women with the fatherless that don't know what to look for when courting, don't have somebody who can be their eyes, their ears, you know, there's sense of security to say, hey, you know what, like, you guys have a lot in common, or hey, you know what, you guys, I don't know, you know. And so we're going off, now we're transitioning into an era of internet, where internet and society is telling us so many relationship podcasts, how to date, yeah. Who to look for, who to be, even within a date. And it's like, I even got caught up in it, and I had to pull away, and I said, you know what, I just need to work on healing my inner child and my shadow, and who do I want to be?
And then like, when she worked on herself, that's how she got it real, you know.
Just got to work on yourself, and I feel like that's essential to getting away from all of that. You're not gonna find it in the club. You gotta find yourself and really work on yourself. It all comes back to self-love.
This is unless you have anything else to say. I mean, I don't know anything else that I have to say, particularly about this topic.
Go where your interests are. You want to find a real one? Go where if you're a workaholic, look around at work. If you're, you know, gymaholic, look around at gym. You know, we steer clear away from these places that we quote unquote don't think it's gonna be messy, but like, how are we ever gonna be open and receptive to anything if we don't look in the places that are closest to us, closest to our heart, closest to what we like,
our communities.
It's important. And what you know, we see people day in and day out at the gym, at work. These are people that become trustworthy, and that's what we essentially want.
And you know, piggybacking off what you said, I would also say being open to who likes you. Be okay with lowering your standards sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's okay to not have the things if you can in return get what it is that you may be looking for in a partner. You know, whether it's someone who's caring, who's thoughtful, who's intentional, who wants to be there for you. I think that's important to look beyond like the material things that you can get from your partner, or, you know, for guys, the sex that you can get out of a relationship from a girl who's attractive and has a nice body. You know, I think
somebody you can grow with.
So I think that was a good conversation. I thank you for your your input, your dialogue, and thank you for watching Jovial Spirits Reactions. And we will see you on the next one.
Holla.
Get out of here. Go back to your life.